normal?
Well, there are two extreme views about coronavirus. And the one view is that it's not serious, it's just a flu, so we shouldn't take it too seriously. We just need to follow some easy guidelines and everything will be perfectly all right. And the second view is that it's a catastrophe, it is something which is a biggest threat to the human civilization in a generation. I think both views are dangerous. There's some element of truth in both of them, but they do not represent the truth. The whole picture could be understood with a moderate view. Yes, of course it's dangerous. It's 10 times, more dangerous than ordinary flu. But as I discussed, if you remember the last time we were discussing it, mortality rate is reasonably low. The problem with this disease, the coronavirus, as medical experts suggest, is that it does got two elements. The one element is that it has a potential for being infectious, so it can spread very, very globally, and it's difficult to contain it. That's one thing. And as we see, it was in China, South Korea, and Italy. Now the Europe is epicenter. So ability to spread is there, but mortality rate is relatively low. And if we see those people who died from coronavirus, we could establish that the reason not exactly the coronavirus on its own, but it's a combination of factors. And mostly we see that elderly people, vulnerable people are dying from this particular disease. So there are a couple of things to bear in mind. I mean, UK government, for example, is proposing the policy of delaying the peak. In this particular respect, the Italian government failed spectacularly. They failed to manage it properly, and the healthcare system did not prove to be up to the occasion. UK government's policy is very clear that they need to procrastinate, delay the peak, because health services must be ready to combat this disease. And then, of course, it will be curbed. So the reality is that you cannot eliminate this disease at once. So you have to realize that it will spread. So you need to manage this process, you need to contain it, and then it will go down and it will decline. Because as we see from the way it improves and develops, in China it's currently seems to be under control. In South Korea, recoveries are outnumbering the problematic death cases. In Europe is still a big problem. And in the UK, for example, the worst days are yet to come. And the travel restrictions imposed, there are different views about this policy. America imposed the travel restrictions on 26 EU countries, and the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom are not included in this list. The effect on the global economy is undoubtedly there, because global economy, the financial markets, are regulated and influenced by factors like certainty, uncertainty, fear, confidence, and whether coronavirus is a deadly disease or not is totally peripheral to the real question. When there's a fear, when the people are starting buying things or they are stopping manufacturing, it affects the economy. So that's a reality of the coronavirus. And the World Health Organization, as you know, has upgraded this disease from being epidemic to pandemic because it's so global now. Of course, it's for the medical experts to, say what it is and what we need to do. But the one thing is very obvious. Overreaction does never help. Panicking is of absolutely no use. For example, the other day, the chief medical advisor of the UK was saying that some people are wearing a mask when they are not required to do so. Because as long as you are not advised by the healthcare professional to wear a mask, there's absolutely no point in wearing a mask because it could actually militate against your initial ambition and purpose. So the one thing is that this disease humanity will overcome this disease. It's not going to kill the human civilization, but it should be properly managed. Italians failed, Chinese are doing very well, and Europeans will be all right in the fullness of time. But of course there are lots of lessons we could learn from this kind of disease, because probably this kind of pandemic diseases will be the destiny of human civilization in the fullness of time again. So we must increase our preparedness, both in terms of our healthcare infrastructure and also economic preparedness.
Thank you very much, Orhan, for your valuable observations. We were talking to Orhan Omashev, international law expert. That was all for the week. Thank you very much for watching us, and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.